Hi everyone. So if you watched my last video, you saw how I created this three-tabbed budgeting toolkit in Excel, where in the first tab we are categorizing and estimating our monthly in and outflows, more specifically with four distinct inflow categories and in Dave Ramsey's 11 outflow categories. And then after making those estimates, we went on to the Ledger tab where we will keep track of our day-to-day actual expenditures, group them by month, and then categorize them uh, while maintaining some similarities throughout using data validation, going to data validation, and I showed you how to do that in the last video. And then after creating the ledger, moving on to the third tab, which is the judgment tab, where we actually compare how well we stayed within our estimated budget from month to month. And now, what I just described for you just now, for one reason or another, took me about 20 minutes to finish explaining in reality last time. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going too slowly or in too great of detail, but please give me your advice on that issue. But in any case, in an attempt to produce shorter videos, I decided to save the explanation on how I created this infographic for today's video. Now, although this table that I explained how to create last time does provide us with all of the information we really technically need in order to keep on top of our day-to-day budgeting, I think just about anyone should probably agree that this infographic here expresses the same information just a whole heck of a lot quicker. And so it would be a disservice to you all if I didn't go ahead and show you how I built it. Just by selecting this chart, you can see what data it's referencing. You have column B, which is the labels of the 11 outflow categories. Column C is linked to column H, as you can see here. You could just as easily copy and paste your month's estimate in the forecast column. And then right beside that is a dynamic column in my example, but you could also just copy and paste what you actually came up with, which in this case, in this chart over here, would just be a matter of copying and pasting these 11 cells right here. Now, this chart only shows 1 month at a time, but I say at a time because using this little spin dial button, I can modify it so that I can change the numbers for each particular month that I have recorded, which right now only consists of June through August. This is all made up data, so there's a lot of blanks here, or zeros. But if you are interested in creating a dynamic table or chart like this one, it's actually pretty simple. It uses the offset function, which you can see here. And without going into too much detail, the offset function is like a powerful VLOOKUP. You have a starting point, which is referred to as the reference, and then it will ask you how many rows down you want to go. And if you don't wish to go down any rows from your starting point, you can leave it blank. Just do comma, and then reference, and then it asks how many columns to the right you want to move. And in this case, I have dedicated cell A1 to determine how many rows over I want to move from this starting point. Okay, and in every cell in column D except for D1, you'll notice that H8 is not locked down, but the 1 in A1 is. And to see the impact, just look here. A1 could have been entirely locked actually, but 1 had to be. But H9 is not. So every time we move down another row, H10 changes to H11 to H12 and so forth. Okay, and that's really all you need to know on how to make at least your actual values change each month. Now here I'm using the spinner dial, which is a option, but I could just as easily change the value in A1 to any number, in this case between the number of rows 1, 2, and 3. So change it to 1, and now you have June. Change it to 2, now you have July. Change it to 3, you have August. Change it to 4, and you have a non-existent month, because we just don't have that data here. Okay, but it would be there if we had continued this chart onward to the left or right. Okay, so now that you have the data, the next step is to actually create the chart from the data. We're going to select it, B1 to B12, insert column chart, and although it looks like these are just points, and let me change this back to like July, it's actually a line. So you're going to have a combo chart. We're going to change the chart type of July 2014 to be a line with markers, and we're going to select it again, go to Format Data Series, line color, no line, marker options, built in, long line, change it to like 10 or something. Marker line color, that's basically the marker border, which is kind of weird for a line marker. We're going to change it to no line or no border for the marker. And yeah, that should do it. Click outside. There you go. I included labels for it, so I'm going to add data labels, and this is of course supposed to be dollars, so I'm going to format data labels, number, currency. I don't need decimal places, so change that to 0 and change it to red font. Make that whiter. Format data labels, move it to above the marker, and there's the chart. And it's super simple. It gets the information across really quickly. I'm going to format the legend, put it to the bottom. Now the categories have more space. Okay. And that's the chart. It's really simple. Real quick, I'll even throw in Format Data Series gradient, and I used the darkest green, followed by the second darkest green, followed by the third darkest green in that little column thing. Okay, now it's pretty much exactly the same, give or take some size. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you did, please like it or subscribe to my channel. Try my best to produce these more frequently. And of course, if you have any questions, something that I left out in the last 2 videos, please speak up and let me know, and I'll try to address them in the comments. Please stay tuned. I'm going to be posting more videos on this subject. The next video I'm planning is how to create this budgeting tool using Google Docs, which is a really cool web application. Stay tuned. It will be really cool. And all you guys watching, thank you. Talk to you guys later.